and family who have passed away. Recently, we lost a gentleman there, Jojo Gonzalez. We've lost Ringo Leomidi, whose picture's up there. SALEAUMUA brothers. There's been a lot of people that have lost, that have passed. And I would just like to ask us to take our hats off, bow our heads for about 30 seconds or maybe 20 seconds. And just please remember these people that have all been special in our lives. Thank you. Please keep all these people in your prayers. Thank you very much.
Coach here said that I had to go first because he was afraid I'd fall asleep. But I'll tell you, it's been an honor to play in these tournaments I played last year too. And this is really gives me a good feeling. What a community this is. To come together and everybody loves each other and except everything. But anyway, we started, I graduated from high school in 1959, so it was kind of weird back there, you know. We had these leather helmets.
That's before your time,
you know, when I was that age, you know, we were kind of poor. We had a lot of money. Went through the National City Junior High and SWEETWATER High School.
Oh, he walks like we guys probably.
But you know, with this leather helmet, it's so nice because in the spring, you could use them for a mitt.
Motherfucker had bases loaded probably 4 times in that game too.
Anyways, okay, I also played ball at San Diego State, and there I had some friends at Wayne Sevier, and I grew up together from junior high all the way through. And they played with us there at San Diego State, so we were really close. And then when I got the job at Castle Park High School, we had to wear.
Can you read that scribble
Castle Park too. Anyway, no, we had such rivalries back then.
I couldn't show it. I don't need to see how that shit.
Read it all. Come on.
It was the coaches because we knew each other so well. I mean, we would be on Thursday nights before the game and stuff. All the coaches in the
Wrote it all. You got to read it all.
And this is something that I think more other teams should have done, because we got to know all the coaches in the league, and we got to hang out with them, and we'd, say, we're going to kick your ass tomorrow night, and then I'd be shaking our assistant coaches for saying things that we're not supposed to be saying. But anyway, it's been, when we played against Sweetwater, it was a different atmosphere. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
I mean, if you're at Castle Park, one year we played there, and we had helicopters coming over because we played for the edge. But one specific game that we had, in those days, they'd come over to Castle Park. And Castle Park, if you've been there, had very small areas on the visitor center. That was on purpose. We did that. We didn't want all those crowds from Sweetwater to show up. Wayne Sevier, who was one of my buddies, he ordered this cherry picker. It's this big high-rise thing. So he got up there and he was calling plays. So we finished the game and it was close. I mean, it went back and forth and back and forth. And we come right down to the end. And this is when we were driving for a touchdown. The helicopters were coming and hovering over the top of the field. And I'm yelling, "Get the hell out of here," And about that time, we throw an interception. And I claiming on that.
Man, Lois.
The other thing though, came right down to the last minute of the game, and we're ahead by a little. They go down the field, Sweetwater does, throws the pass, they pick it up, take it in, and score. End of the game, we lost. After the game,
Too high.
after the game, when Severe comes down from the high-rise cherry, he's running out on the field. And I'm walking out, and I want to shake his hand and everything. And all of a sudden, he goes down. And he's laying out there on the field. I don't know if any of you have been there, was there that night. He was on the field and he's hyperventilating. And I run over to him, I'm going, "Hey, Slater, you're okay." And he goes, "I call that last play." Anyway, that's the kind of things that you've had with Sweetwater and Castle, and I'm just really pleased with the type of people that you are and the type of people that we were at Castle Park. And I want to thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it.
He made the right decision. He couldn't hit the curve ball. He made a good decision to play football instead. No, it's an honor being here. I haven't been back in 40 years. So it's an honor to see faces that I graduated in '83. And I'm touched with this honor, and thank you. Yeah.
So these guys can hit between Ron and Tom and Jimmy. I saw it. He didn't spend his money ridiculously, and he didn't do drugs, he didn't drink, until now he's here for the union. Extremely humble. All of you that know him knows what he's like. He's just a great person to be around. When we started taking our teams to Hawaii and Mexico City and Canada all over, he goes, "Coach, how come you didn't take us when we were there?" I said, can't say his name yet, but I said, "Because when you were there, you laid the foundation for the teams that followed you, and it was easier to fundraise. People were willing to give us money to donate to help. So we go to Hawaii. We had a great time, by the way. I can't mention his name. Yeah, those trips were a lot of fun. So he now is obviously playing professional ball. We had several trips after he retired. So he goes on these trips and he has a great time. He's there as one of our coaches. He pays every meal for all the kids, every meal, and for the parents. We played Canada one game, the next game we played Seattle Seahawks. Now how did that happen? Because when he left Kansas City, he went to Seattle. And I said, "Oh, we're going to play in Seattle." "Dan, our team's going to Seattle." "Oh, coach, you need some tickets?" I go, "Okay." 64 tickets he got us. 64. After the game, he says, "Coach, take your staff and meet us at Elliott's on the wharf." Some of you have been to Seattle. It's a very, very nice. $4,000 later, he says, "I'll take care of it. You guys take care of it." That's the kind of person he is. Forget about his accolades as an athlete. He is one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of South Bay. Great football player. Needless to say, he was the what do you call that guy on the the enforcer. He was the enforcer on the basketball team. Track and field. He would have won the state meet because we were watching it, and he scratched 2 different times. He was the only guy that hit chalk at 60 feet. Everybody else behind him. When he was doing track, he was throwing about 45 feet. We played Bonita. Bonita has 2 guys at 47 and 46. Our 2 guys are behind him. Cortez Greer, rest in peace. We get Danny a little excited about that track meet. We go 1-2 against Bonita. We go to the CIF, and I remember this vividly. Helix had a kid named Purcell, who was throwing 54 feet. He's only throwing 44, 45, 46, 47, so it's hey, you're competing against this kid Purcell at Helix. He's pretty good. No problem. He goes, wins CIF, he throws 57 and beats 7. We go to the state track meet, and by the way, there's the 100-meter champion right there, Gerald Johnson, who won the CIF. He won the state track meet, played at University of Utah, as BYU opponent, Pat Kabuligan, defensive back. Tom Slavinsky, class of 79, tied at San Diego State. And then, as far as Danny, I'm going to finish this. He just, to me, considered one of the greatest athletes. Coach Bob West, rest in peace. Coach Dave Tipton, 19 years at Stanford, was my defense coordinator for 2 years. We walk out of the coach's room on our way to the football field, and there's a gymnasium. And as we walk, we look over, and there's Dan, and he borrows a tennis racket from a kid that's hitting against the walls. Remember, he proceeds to hit 10 backhands against the tennis wall, against the basketball gym. All backhands. We're looking at it and go, oh, he's a freak. He's a different breed. He played right tackle for us. His brother Wesley, where's Wesley? He's right here. He looks like an offensive lineman, but he was a quarterback. He was such a great athlete. He played quarterback for us because we had a very good secondary. He was our best DB. He got a full ride at University of Utah as a defensive back, playing quarterback. So Daniel, just hated I mentioned his name. We ran a little what we call sprint dart, the right to the left. We went to Danny's side. He would literally knock his opponent down and then just wait for anybody to come because he didn't want anybody touching his brother. That's the kind of athlete he was. Again, I'm wasting my breath talking about his, his accolades as an athlete. I'd like to bring him up here, and you guys can listen to him for a little bit, and he can talk. He won't talk about himself, but nonetheless, a huge legend in our minds, Dan SALEAUMUA. In recognition of a brilliant athletic career at Sweetwater High School, Arizona State, as an All-Pro with the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl winners. Thank you for all you've given to SUHI and the community of National City.
Short, just real fast. One of the biggest things I've grown up in National City is the multiverse of nationalities.
Come on.
And baseball, basketball, that's all we did. So our parents couldn't afford a lot, so we played a lot of recreation. Baseball was something that we could afford, me and my brothers. But growing up in National City, you saw every diverse nationality. Now, send me to Detroit, when I first saw racism, it freaked me out. I want you to understand how lucky we are to grow up like this. Some of you guys back in the 60s, I know, like I said to my wife, brothers, blacks and browns stayed over there, and whites stayed over there, but that was back in the 50s, 60s. To grow up in National City and to be surrounded by all race and creed and not hesitate. Amen. And it wasn't until I got drafted in Detroit and I saw racism, which kind of freaked me out. I said, yeah, but he's just a black guy that likes to come into the hang out and have dinner with us. Well, he's not welcome. That messed me up. Then I went to Kansas City. I was like, oh, okay. First of all, there ain't gonna be no Samoans out here. And Tuatoia was the first Samoan who played in Sweetwater back in 1979, 1980, linebacker. But my first night in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm at a club. Go ahead, girl, do your thing, girl. What? Holy smokes, somebody smacked his back of the head. Tuatoia. But I guess Tui was living in Missouri, and then fast forward, I'm doing all that thing. There's racism over there too, in a town called, say it, what's the name of the town? The one you live in with all the racism.
Danny, Danny
Mexican Jimmy. Mr. Berrigan, I go, back on. No, Mr. Berrigan. Like I said, me and Jimmy from National City, and when I would see it, because he was teaching high school, and I go, oh, you're Gene Animal, we're in these schools. But it's like, man, you don't go back to National City where you know, the diversity of growing up in this kind of town. That's kind of like,
that's
so when
right.
I saw him here today, I said, damn, what took you so long to come home? 40 years. He's been stuck in Missouri. I'm only telling you this because, number one, you know, when I found out that like Jimmy was getting honored, I like, you know what, I'm on it. You know, trust me, this, you know, I really have come back just to see all my family and friends, because the one thing that I've never forgotten is where I came from.
Come on.
Yeah, good. Yeah, on, Danny.
Come on, Danny. Yeah.
You know, we went to Granger. It's like, you know, I'm just saying, it's like, oh yeah, I remember all of that. Like, I go, I never forgot that.
Yes,
That's
right.
the one thing I just like, you know, I believe in Snoop Dogg, puff, puff, pass. Everything that I've learned, I got to pass it on.
Oh, come on,
It
man.
does me no good. You take it with me.
Oh, come on, Danny.
So when I get an opportunity or a chance, I try to puff, puff, pass.
Okay.
Oh, no. You got to read the book. I tried that. It's the harder way, but I basically did it. The biggest thing was, like I said, someone gave me a chance.
Hey, man.
That's
And
right.
again, one chance.
One chance. Come on.
So by the time it's over, they're going to ask you, what did you do with your one chance? Me? Oh shit, I ran like crazy. Like, real fast, I gotta get out of here. But I gotta tell one story. When Gene Alum and East Lake principal and the athletic director invited me to go to Mexico to hold a football camp. I said, yeah, coach, I'll go. So then I go, okay, what do I gotta do? First of all, you gotta fly to San Diego, cross over the border, get on a plane to Tijuana. Go from Tijuana, go to Monterrey, Mexico. Am I right, G? Fly to Monterrey, Mexico. Then we go to a town called Chiapas.
Guatemalan border.
Right there. And I said, hey, what's the border check doing here in Chiapas? Oh yeah, all the people from Guatemala trying to come up from this side. What? So I said, come on, man, let's go, let's get this camp over. So we're going to do this camp, right? So I'm thinking like all these little kids. Because remember, soccer, football is what they play.
Yeah.
But the governor of Chiapas' son loves American football. Well, what I didn't know was that my wife put all this drug cartel killing, you know, like, don't go, the cartel will get you. I go, oh, I don't think you're going to be in Chiapas, baby, because ain't nothing happening in Chiapas. But the part about it was that, I go, coach, I don't think I'll be able to make it. He goes, no, you gotta go. I go, why? He goes, we told him we're bringing a former NFL player. I went, what? I said, oh, so you using me to get over there. Anyway, I need to tell you about where the camp was at. So all of a sudden we're pulling in, we're following all these cars. Oh man, there's a lot of cars coming in, so it must be a pretty big camp. Well, what I didn't know was that these were all the visitors that were coming to visit their loved ones in the Chiapas State Prison. Oh, don't laugh! What's this up? I looked at Coach, I said, you got to be shitting me. Who in the prison is playing football? So it's me, Coach. Now watch this. I don't speak Spanish. We have one assistant coach who spoke Spanish. So by the time we get in there and break up the teams, Coach's assistant goes to coach. And I said, whoa, I can't communicate. I didn't know. I know my linebacker that was standing there. He goes, hey, bro, it's okay. I can speak English. I can speak Spanish. Hey, bro, how do you say attack? And I said, hey, man, you got to get your ass off the line. And he goes, because Gene, the guy just put play. But the point I'm trying to tell you is, no matter where we are, I couldn't believe that I'm holding a football camp in a prison. Where the first guy, when I walked into the door to go into the yard, he had MS-13. I said, got to be kidding me, Jimmy. Hold up. So watch this. So I watch all the prison riots. So there's a big giant Ramada. Everybody's standing there. And I'm standing in the middle. I'm going, tell the truth though. I'm standing in the middle of the yard. I'm like, Dad. I go, he goes, what's wrong with you? They go, nope, I'm standing in the middle of the yard. He goes, what's going on? The prisoners are walking around us. What's gonna stop one guy? He goes, you know what? I'm getting tired of getting treated like this. I'm gonna take one of those guys hostages. I said, oh, you ain't getting me. You ain't gonna, oh, like, oh, I ain't doing this shit, G. I ain't doing it. Oh my God, but then you know, me and Coach, we had, oh yeah, we went to dinner at Elliot's, and like my kids. But the biggest thing was, don't forget where you come from. There's a lot of guys today.
Amen.
What about those people? Who are you talking about? I'm one of those guys, like I said, today, it was, you know, we were trying to score, and after we couldn't score, then I had to break it down and say, oh, we're here for the fellowship.
Wow.
No, Daddy never disappoints.
Oh, never.
Invite Cecilia. Cecilia, stand up. Beautiful Cecilia, stand up. Come on. Come on, guys, stand up. One quick thing. We have one more honoree, and that's it. One quick thing. What Dan did, when Dan was a senior, that front defensive front, that front seven of ours was very, very good. Very, very good. 1981, I believe it was. 1981. What Dan did was he put the four linemen together. They all played together. I'm going to introduce them in a second. Our two linebackers aren't here. That was Irwin Smith and Pat Portillo. But I'd like to introduce the four linemen. I'll tell you why. In 12 games, 12, this front four gave up 240 yards rushing the all season, 12 games. We were 11-1. Colorado. Hey, and who am I missing here? Chris Fowler didn't make it, but anyway, guys, incredible memories. Thank you. Our last presentation will be introduced by our basketball coach, Jesse Geary.
I said it last year, I'll say it again. Football crap. Man, I could talk about a lot of stuff in here right now. You know, when we were small, growing up, we lived at Kimball Park. The boys, me and Albert were talking about the Boys and Girls Club. We lived there until they closed. And Saturday mornings would come around and the guys were like, let's go, we gotta go to the park, we gotta go to the park. Boys Club ain't open until like 2 o'clock. Why are we going there at 10 in the morning? And they go, you'll see. So after I went a few weeks, and then we brought some other kids from the neighborhood there, and they didn't know why they were coming. And everybody went to watch Dan SALEAUMUA play Pony League baseball and hit home runs. You remember that? So here we are, 30, 45 years later, whatever it is, and it's like he said, man, one city, you know, one love, one city, we're all together. And another great example is my assistant coach, former Marine. Stand up, Marco, take the shades off, dude, you're inside. Marco's from Nebraska. So I was told his parents made a wrong turn and they ended up in Nebraska, and in Mexico. So Marco came with me to Sweetwater, and our sons played when they were young together. And one of the biggest things after 1 year with us, Marco said, this is unbelievable, this school's unbelievable. You know, all of the alumni coming back, we do an alumni night, he saw all of the alumni. And one thing he said, man, Sweetwater is just one big family. And a year later, I had his son, he brought his son to Sweetwater. So it's good stuff, man. Listening to everybody here talk, and you know, I look at Steve Riff, I looked at Steve like 5 times already. Steve don't even know I was looking at him, I was like, damn, you played in the 60s or 50s? The dude looks like he's 35 years old. Great shape.
Steve Riff right there.
Anyways, before I get to this, last year I stood up here and we let David Ibarra, where's David? David Ibarra went to our Hall of Fame, with the Basketball Hall of Fame on Alumni Night last year, which we renamed the Michael Master Memorial Classic after Michael. Coach Ibarra went in. The big dog right here went in 3 years ago. Wesley SALEAUMUA. Stand up. Wesley was the party of the night. That was great. Who else went in? Somebody else? Somebody else in here I missed?
Yes. You know it.
Okay, so I'm standing here telling you that we have been looking for this guy for a while, and we couldn't find him, and Coach Zarski kept telling me he needs to go in your Hall of Fame. He was a big part of our program, and he pops up today out of nowhere. So, Tom Slavinsky, you're going into our Hall of Fame. So don't make plans at the end of January 25th, I believe, and I'll get you the dates and stuff later. But you're going in our Basketball Hall of Fame this year.
Good job, good job. Oh, he played football. What about that?
Okay, so this next person we're putting in tonight, an honoree, this wasn't easy. Not when they're on the committee. It was very hard. And getting her family and trying to sneak them in here tonight without her seeing them was impossible. So when they came in, I said, Ms. P, don't ask questions, don't say a word, just enjoy the night, give them hugs, and have a good time. And they did. And we were able to pull it off. Perrault family, stand up real quick. And before I get going, Ms. P, your brothers wanted like 3 or 4 minutes each to roast you. And I told them they can't do that. I felt like I knew them for 40 years after talking to them on the phone. Anyways, so I didn't write up a big speech or anything, but Ms. P was a softball coach, volleyball coach, basketball coach. She was our ASB advisor at SWEETWATER, ASB advisor at Mar Vista, assistant principal. I could go on and on about Ms. P. She special, right? I mean, I was trying to think of Ms. P, and I think of mentor, I think of heart, I think of leader, and I think of passion. And Ms. P is just a great example for just everybody she touches. Former players, former ASB students, the regular students on campus. You talk about family, she's the definition of family. She really is. And she, wherever she worked, yeah, absolutely. Wherever Ms. P worked, it was smooth going. No issues. No issues. And I am not, some of you don't know about Mar Vista. Sorry, Coach, I gotta get on this one. Mar Vista is rough. Really rough.
What is America?
And Ms. P made Mar Vista go smooth with no issues. And she gave me my first coaching job as a head varsity coach back in 2004, I believe. And I was there for 7 years, and then she told me, you know, Sweetwater's open, it's time to go back. And so I did, and I've been there ever since. And then she retired, and she came back to Sweetwater, and she's been coaching softball off and on. And like I said, she's the definition of family. I don't have much more to say about her. I'm just going to let her do the talking, because she is going to talk. Marianne Perrault. The plaque says, President Marianne Perrault, the recognition as a brilliant teaching, coaching, and administrative career at Sweetwater High School. Thank you for all you have given to SUHI and the community of National City.
Thank you. This is quite the honor and quite the surprise. And I really appreciate that I was sharing with my brothers and their better halves, and my nephew there, his better half. And I said, you know, a lot of the people in this room were former students. And my one brother goes, there's a lot of old people in this room. Well, yeah, I was like, when I walked through the door, I'm like, what the heck? But it's been a pleasure. My passion has always been in National City. I feel like I'm a part of the Red Devil family, absolutely. Even though I didn't graduate from there, I've been to more proms, more grad nights, more activities, homecomings, you name it. It's been awesome, and I appreciate this honor tonight. I do want to say this. This doesn't happen without a committee that gets together And it doesn't happen without the help of the SUHI Foundation. The SUHI Foundation is a committee that came along through the Morgan family and has been set up to assist the students at Sweetwater High School. And they have committed to making lives better for our National City students. And it's just been an awesome team to be associated with. Lori Durham, who's the CEO of the SUHI Foundation, Kyle Morgan's granddaughter. She would have been here this evening, but she had heart issues and has been restricted from flying. But she texted me a little while ago and said, listen, it's all about the kids in National City and giving back. So tonight, the Morgan family will match any donation we receive in kind. They will match it. So we would like you, if you can give tonight, to give, please. Be a part of the SUHI Foundation and make a difference in the lives of our students and in the community of National City. So thank you so much. You can pay checks out to the SUHI Foundation.
Anybody want to donate 20 grand, we'll give it back to you after they match. You know, some people are humbled in this world, and I walked away, I know I got more Hall of Famers here. And Jim Finnerty sitting all quiet over here, when I said, is there anybody else in here? Jim, we put Jim in the Hall of Fame a few years back. Jim's being very quiet and humble right now. But that's all right, Jim. Stand up. Get up, Jim. One of the top players ever out of Sweetwater High School, right there in 3 sports. Back to Coach.
Folks, I think that about wraps up our show. I just want to, again, I know it's been a long day and night for all of us, but I want to say from the committee, speaking on behalf of the committee, it's been an honor for us to meet, get together, plan this type of thing. We're not, as much as we want to help National City kids, our main endeavor was to put people together and have a nice reunion and go to Napoleon's every month and eat a lot of pizza. It was really good. Anyway, God bless you all. Safe travels. Hopefully we'll see you out here next year. Sign up early so you don't get blocked out.